Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Coriander, tonight, Slasher Movie Club. We're talking about Happy Birthday to Me.
Yeah.
It's not my birthday yet, but we're gonna we're
Nope.
gonna we're
Thank
gonna
God
get
it's
in.
past mine.
we're we're gonna get into this. This being another slasher from 1981. Um, we, we've been in the thick of it, and this is
Yep.
another one of those movies. Um, Real quick before we start, because the main thing I want to talk about, other than the story, is the deaths in this movie. Okay, but
hmm
before I do that, let me know just as a quick blurb, what you think of this movie.
I enjoyed this movie.
Okay,
I've
all
always
right,
liked it. I like how the ending, there's quite the twist.
yeah, there
Yeah.
is a twist.
hmm
All right. Okay. Well, let's see who's in the chat. We've got Slasher Fred who says, "Let them eat cake." Okay. Uh, we got Eric saying, "It's been forever since I've seen this. I remember enjoying it." All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Trenchy's in the chat saying, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Trenchy?"
Hey, Trenty.
We also got Biffer. Biffer's in the chat. What's going on? What's going on?
Hello.
And Trenchy says, "This is a funny one because it's Sasha's birthday today." Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I'll have to tell him happy birthday.
Ah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Happy birthday to Sasha, sexy monkey himself. Trenchy says, "I haven't seen this one. We'll have to check it out." All right.
Yeah.
And we got my man Neon Black in the chat. What's going on, man? He's saying, "Hey guys."
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Okay. So look, before I even get into what I thought of this movie, in general, it had some good ideas. It had some good concepts. You have basically this story of this group of friends, young friends,
Mhm.
and they're hanging out at school, and one by one, they're getting picked off. Now,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, and when I saw this a long time ago, I remember seeing this movie in the video store. And I remember seeing this poster right here that was just like, wow, it just caught me off guard, right? And it says happy birthday to me, and it says six of the most bizarre murders that you will ever see. Now, we're going to put that to the test here, Coriander. I'm going to throw this at you kind of real quick, but we're going to talk about how these deaths added up, because by now we've done a lot of episodes of Slasher Movie Club. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen our previous episodes, please do. And we're in the thick of the 80s right now. So we're going to talk about the deaths. But before we do that, I have to give a warning to people watching this, especially people who haven't seen it, like Trenchy. And here's your one and only warning: spoilers ahead. Thou hast been warned. Okay, that's all you're
Nice.
gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. Okay, so the movie starts off, and we have Bernadette who is walking along. It's at night, and of course she's alone. And it's like, why would she be walking out at night like that? As a young lady, it's the dead of night, and she's just chilling out, right? But you got to have
It
this
was
in
the
a horror
80s.
movie.
Come on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you have to have this in the 80s. And she comes upon the principal of the school, and they have a quick little interaction and all that type of stuff. And then, well, Coriander, shit happens. Okay,
Yep.
so this is the very first death in the movie. Okay, and it is the Bernadette throat slash. Okay, Coriander, pass or fail?
Well, no, it wasn't anything bizarre. So to me, it was a fail. Yeah.
You are correct. It was a fail. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it started off pretty good because she gets choked by an
Yep.
assailant, and
Yep.
she gets away. And I'm thinking, all right, cool, run away. But instead of running away, she kind of jogs for about 5 seconds and then stops to catch her breath and all this type of stuff. And then of course she
Yeah, she
gets,
like stops and hides, and it's
yeah,
like,
it's
bitch, you
like,
gotta keep running. Come on.
yes, it's like run, chick. But anyways, but then the
Right.
throat slash, it was very, very quick and it didn't really have
Yeah.
any type of payoff, you know.
No. Like
Um,
I could see if he like ripped her tongue out and made like a German necktie, then that would
yeah,
have been something. But
right.
yeah.
You know, but Eric says 1981 again. Damn, how many slashers came out in that year alone? Man,
A
I know there
lot.
were a couple dozen. You know, that's a
Yeah.
great question. I know it was a couple dozen that came out in 81 alone. I think once I read it was like 50. I could be wrong on
Oh,
that, but
kiddo.
there were a lot. We got Fauci Cinema in the chat saying, "What's good, Night? I just watched this for the first time. Wasn't a fan." Well, dude,
Hmm.
join us on this journey that we are taking, and we're talking about some of these death scenes. Okay, all right, so we got that out of the way. Now, one of the deaths that I think was kind of an iconic one, at least in the setup, Coriander, was the one with your buddy Etienne. Now, and I know you hate saying that name, but it was a good setup for a death. It really, really was, because he's in his garage or whatever, and he's working on his bike, and
Yep.
you see that tire spinning, man. So you already have an idea what could happen, right? I mean, it's a great
Hmm.
setup. Um, I was feeling good as I'm watching it. The setup is looking good. This is Etienne, the bike destruction. Pass or fail, Coriander?
Well, again, it wasn't anything too special. So yeah, no, I guess it was a fail. Yeah.
We got to fail. We got another fail. We got another fail, guys. Now, again, the concept was very good, similar to the first kill with Bernadette. I thought that once his scarf had gotten caught in the wheel, that it just would have been a little bit more, but they cut away. Now, from what I understand, a lot of this was done on purpose. And again, if you're doing a slasher, you do have to kind of abide by some of the tropes. You got to show something, instead of always cutting away.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on it. Let's see what we got going on here. Eric says my my wife watched this because she's a huge fan of Little House on the
Me
Prairie, which the
too. Oh,
actress
that's
who
awesome.
played was the lead on.
Melissa
You
Sue
know,
Anderson. Yes.
yes, she was. There she
Yeah.
is. There she
Yes.
is.
I have
Good for
like
you
all the
guys.
seasons on DVD, so yeah. I'm such a fan of Little House.
Yeah,
That's why I
absolutely.
watch this movie, and that's why I enjoy this movie. Because to
Yeah.
see little Mary Ingalls in a slasher movie, horror movie, it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I had to check this
Hmm.
out. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you've got two of the top 10. That's what the crew is called. These friends, they're just falling off like flies. You know what I'm saying? And of
Mm,
course, nobody knows what's going on. But very early in the film, you start to get the sense that Virginia, who was played by Melissa Sue Anderson, is a little unhinged. She had an accident when she was younger or whatever, and
16.
when she was
Yeah.
16, yeah. And
Yep.
obviously that's kind of a thing that's creeping up.
Her
So they're
mother
definitely,
died, yeah, in that
yeah,
accident.
yeah. So that's kind of creeping up, and you can kind of tell by the interactions that she has with her father and even with her friends. And
Hmm.
she has a doctor that she sees, played
Yeah.
by the great Glenn Ford, which was kind of cool seeing him in a slasher movie. But
Right.
so you've got all these elements kind of going around. Okay, now we've got two deaths that have happened so far. Okay, and they have not passed the smell test. Okay, so the next death that we're going to talk about, and I'll let you read this one, Coriander.
Oh, Greg, do you even know? Oh, no, wait. Do you even lift,
Lift,
bro?
bro.
Kill.
Yeah,
Yeah. Jeez.
absolutely, man. So, like,
Oh, no.
now this one was interesting because He's alone, and all of a sudden, you see this figure come into the room while he's working out. He's lifting his weights. And for anyone that has ever lifted a weight, and I've talked about this on the channel before when we talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, part 4, I believe it was. Yeah, the weightlifting scene that they did. This was definitely creepy ass stuff, man. I mean, it really.
I think
really
this one was
get you.
better than that one in Nightmare. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Well,
I
in
think
the
so.
sense of how it kind of ended for sure. So you give this one a pass, right?
I do. I
All
do.
right. So we get a pass on that one. So we've got 2 fails and 1 pass. It was actually pretty good, and the way that it was shot, it didn't cut away. It definitely looked
Yeah.
like, whew,
I
it
mean,
looked
she threw
bad.
a weight on his crotch and then
Right,
he dropped the weights that he was lifting and it
right on his
crushed his
neck.
throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
It was a
one
good
was a
one.
rough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got that one out of the way, right? Okay. So the next one that we have is your buddy Alfred. He gets the shear stab for being creepy, because he was creepy in this movie. And I'm going to tell you right now that gets a
He was
fail.
talented.
He
You
was
gotta give him
talented.
that.
He was talented to be a creep, and he fails. That is a fail. I am giving that
Oh
an epic
no.
fail, because like he comes behind, and again, this is all spoilers. He comes behind um, Virginia, and she turns around, and you see the shears go into him, but it's so damn quick, man. He has a stupid ass look on his face. It was quick. It was quick, and
Yeah.
yeah, he gets a fail. He gets a damn fail. Real quick in the chat, we have got my man Ben from Cadaver Club saying, "I am the Night Watch." Yes, you are, brother. Yes, you are. And we also have Flamethrower in the chat saying the reason that there were so many slashers in '81 is because that was the year that I started watching horror movies.
Nice.
All right, I hear you. Ben says extra points for using a motorcycle as a murder weapon, though. Yeah, I do agree
Yeah.
with that. The
Right?
concepts were good. Most all the kills had great concepts, but some of the follow through wasn't great. Just on the basis of good kills in a slasher. So that's all that we're rating this as. Neon Black says, I've seen this one exactly once back in the 80s. Don't remember being very impressed by it, but I had probably watched a dozen slashers that week. Nice. Nice. Eric says,
This isn't like your typical slasher, where you've got a bunch of gore and,
Right.
if anything, if they were
Yeah.
trying to be like a more intellectual slasher movie, giving you the twists and,
Yeah.
trying to make you think a little bit, Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Eric says Elm Street 4 still makes Knight nervous when he's doing his bench presses. Yeah, absolutely, man. There's no doubt. Slasher Fred says, I love the theme song. It was a pretty good theme
Yeah.
song. I gotta admit.
Right.
It actually has 2 different soundtracks, which is really interesting too. Almost gives you a different vibe of the movie. Ben says it's a terrible movie, but it's a fun watch if you're hanging out with some
Aw.
lively friends. Yeah.
It's not that terrible. Come on.
Hey. And we got Sasha, the birthday man himself.
Oh, happy
saying,
birthday.
hello, all. It's sort of funny to me that you're talking about this today of all days, because today's my birthday. Happy birthday, man.
The group Death Glock has a happy birthday song that's, you should, if you're a metal fan, you should check it out. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Nice. We got Joel in the chat too saying, I think they were decent kills for its time. I really enjoy this movie. Had a crush on Tracy Brickman. I hear you, man. I hear you. All right. So now we got to get to the next kill. So this will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 5th one, right? All right. And of course, it's the famous one. Steve, he's kebabbed, and he is not John. Okay. And well, the cover, they try to play it cool with us, man, because it's on the cover, it says John will never eat shish kebab again. And okay, I get it. But when I saw the movie, I was like, wait a minute, that's not John. But
Yeah.
I'm just nitpicking.
That's funny.
I'm just
Yeah, you are.
nitpicking. But no, for this particular kill, what do we give for that one, Coriander? I think we should give it a pass.
I thought this was pretty good. I mean, when she
Yeah,
stuck it in, you could hear it go through the skull, and
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was pretty good.
It was definitely, it was probably the best kill. So I will give
Yeah.
it that. Yeah, I will give it that. Absolutely. Okay, and then in ultimate spoilers, at the end, and she gets stabbed because she is a poser. And I'm
She's a
gonna tell
total
you,
poser.
she's a total
Yeah.
poser, man. And I'm gonna give that one a kinda. And the only
Yeah.
reason I'm gonna give it a kinda is because of the fact of how everything had come about at that point. You know, not to talk about every single detail of it, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna say kinda. I'm just gonna say kinda. So those are the major six kills in the movie. But of course, Coriander, as you know, there were a couple other ones, and also
Yeah. I mean, her
also
father gets his throat slit at the birthday table.
yes, the father gets the throat slit, which that one was okay. You
Yeah.
know, I think it was more just kind of you know, like wow, that really happened, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And friggin'
I'll give it credit.
Alfred, yeah, and Alfred making the mask for Anne to wear that looked exactly like Virginia, where
Yes,
she was the poser. I mean, that was
absolutely.
that was pretty good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie had good concepts. I will admit it was kind of fun as a mystery thing, but you know, the thing of it is originally the ending was going to be different because Virginia was actually going to be the actual killer, and I guess the producers decided that ending wasn't. Um, it was too predictable and they wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. But originally, she was going to be the killer and she was actually possessed by the dead spirit of her mother,
Hmm.
the spirit of her dead mother. I'm sorry. And you know, you can kind of see little pieces of that throughout the movie because you know she keeps having these moments where she's kind of out of it and she
She
doesn't know
has
what happens,
blackouts. Yeah.
blackouts and stuff like that. So you kind of can see that. You know, I don't know if I would have rather have seen it that way or not, but you know, it is what it is. It really is what it is. Real quick too, in the chat, just to catch up with these guys, uh, Ben was saying that the cover is great though. Yeah, it. I will
Yeah.
say it's one of the best posters for you know the slashers of that time and many other horror movies too. Because when I saw that as a little kid, I was actually afraid to watch the movie because I saw
Ah,
the
that's
cover art.
funny.
I was actually afraid, you know. But
Aw.
but I eventually did, and of course, I found out that it wasn't John; it was damn Steve who got kebabbed. Real quick, Joel says yes, the cover is better than the movie. It's funny. And we got Hellbound in the chat. What's going on, man? Saying, hey everyone, love this movie, goofy thing.
Oh,
Absolutely,
good for
man.
you. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, but no, I mean, and I will say I had fun watching it though, and I think, like you said, Coriander, the psychological aspect of it, I think that that was actually a fun part of it because you really didn't know what was going on. You know, they made you think it was creepy Alfred because he was just the ultimate, you know, creep of all times. You had that scene. In the church where you know they did some fade to blacks and you didn't know if you didn't know what was going on. You were thinking, okay,
Mm.
who's the killer? And of course the whole time Virginia was right in the middle of everything. And I gotta
Mm.
admit, even in the beginning of the movie when they first get together, the top 10, and they're all hanging out, and when Virginia came into the bar with the guys and she
Mhm.
still had those gloves on. I was like, well, wait a minute, man. They're giving this thing away way too quick. But,
But a
you
lot of them
know,
had those gloves. Like multiple people
exactly.
in that group had those gloves and the
Exactly.
scarf. So,
Yeah. I mean, this movie had some good parts. I mean, you also know one of my favorite scenes in the movie was that damn that that car stunt. And
the bridge, yeah.
your boy, I mean, he fucked his car up big
Yeah, that
just
was
for like
stupid.
3 seconds of
20
glory.
bucks. It's like
Yeah,
$20.
$20. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna be paying like a couple thousand
Right.
to repair that son of a bitch. So,
Yeah.
this movie again, it had some good stuff, man. I will say I did enjoy um, um, Virginia as a character because she had a lot of stuff going on, and
Yeah, she
I
did.
really did like that, and the whole mystery aspect of
Yeah.
it. Melissa Sue Anderson, I think she did
She
a
did
hell of a
great.
job.
She
Yeah,
did.
she did a hell of a job. I will give her that. So this movie, for me, I mean, we've been at this for a while now, going through all these slasher movies, movie by movie through the years. We started in the '70s, and now we're knee deep. We're knee deep in dark territory right now. You get what I'm saying? And I will say that this one is odd because I really enjoyed this movie, but I was a little frustrated by the kills. I think they were a little muted. I know that they wanted to be more psychological, but I just think it kind of you know it just didn't jive with some of the kills. Because again, look, man, the poster, it says six of the most bizarre kills for all times. No, I'm just joking. That you will ever see.
Stop it.
They
Jeez.
they didn't deliver on it. They didn't. Don't lie to
I
yourself.
know.
They didn't
I'm
deliver
not.
on
Jeez.
that. On that.
Right.
But again, this was a really good movie. And it's funny. This is another Canadian horror movie. These Canadian horror movies, they really have stood the test of time. Same producers that
Yeah.
were on My Bloody Valentine. So, and we obviously are big fans of that movie. So it's just interesting how all that happened, that you have all these great Canadian horror films. But this was in production before Prom Night and before Friday the 13th was released. So a lot of people,
Yeah.
they do think that there was a lot of inspiration from Friday the 13th. I mean, unless there was something happening behind the scenes. But, at this point, everybody was releasing a slasher movie. They were all inspired by, Halloween and so forth. So this was a great year for horror in general. I will say that. I will say that. Let's just see what we got going in the chat before we head on out. Let's see. Ben says it would be like Laurie Strode dropping dead when Michael cut her arm. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yes. Ben says, "You're not gonna die from getting the back of your throat poked by a long ass toothpick, though." Eric,
Oh no.
Eric saying, "Damn, now I want kebabs." Slasher Fred says the twist plot is very similar to Scream, where the villain blames the hero for all their misfortune. Yeah, I mean, at
Yeah.
the end, when we find out that Anne was
Yep.
posing as Virginia, and the reason for that is because Virginia's mom had an
Yeah.
affair with Anne's father.
It's always that. Yep. Isn't
It's
that the
always
same friggin' thing as in Scream? Exactly.
it's
The
always
the
that.
mother was fucking the friggin' her boyfriend's father. So yeah.
Yep. Sasha says, I think Corey showed this film on his channel once. I remember seeing that car scene you just showed in a premiere he did, or maybe I'm confusing it. Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. Neon Black says, a bit more violent than Little House on the Prairie, though.
You get that.
Yes.
That is true, but you got to remember Little House dealt with some pretty heavy shit. There was an episode where a young girl was getting raped by an adult. I mean, you had drug use, overdose, heroin even. It was, there's some pretty big hitters in Little House, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, this one definitely had a lot of stuff going on in it. And again, it was just during that time. But this film was also seized and confiscated in the UK during the whole video nasty panic and all that type of stuff. And of course, it's like, wow, this film is not that bad at all.
No,
You know
for
what I mean?
video nasty, that's kind of funny.
Exactly.
That's a little ridiculous.
I think they were just grabbing up anything they could get, to be honest with you. That's my feeling on it. But but at the end, obviously, the whole idea, as I think Slasher Red was saying, is that the villain, who we find out is Anne, she was basically blaming everything that went on wrong in her life, blaming it on Virginia because, the whole thing with Virginia's mom and Anne's father. So, it was an okay ending because it was a twist. And of course, they have their little moment where they got all the bodies around the table and all that. And that was actually pretty good. If you're a gore fan, that scene was actually pretty good. So I gotta admit, the ending, it was okay for me. It didn't always make a lot of sense, but like I said, it was an enjoyable watch. I think most people, especially in the chat, are kind of saying the same thing. Either it was just a fun watch, a little goofy, but it's a fun watch, So I put this kind of in the middle to upper portion of the movies that we've been doing, and we've been doing so many in the slasher genre, and we're knee deep in this thing, Coriander. And speaking of which, we got to let the guys know what we're going to be doing for next week. And I don't know, we still might be in some dark territory. So for you guys, next week, Monday at 8 p.m., here's what we got for you that we're going to be talking about on Slasher Movie Club. Here we go. Okay, so The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. It really will.
Yeah.
Be a lot different than Little House on the Prairie. So
yeah.
Not that this movie was Little House on the Prairie. I don't mean that.
Come on now, shit.
But no,
right?
This movie was good. It was good. It was good. Let's just watch that car scene again, man, because that thing, good God, man, when I saw this, it was a good scene. The stunt work, especially the other jumps that were happening. But this thing right here, I'm just like, dude, come on. Yeah. This is not the Dukes of Hazzard, okay?
Yeah, but not only that, you have poor Virginia, who she had the accident on that bridge that killed her mother.
Yes,
so come on, that totally screwed her up, man.
Right. Okay, all right. So as we're heading out here, we got Cause in the chat saying, "Hey guys, haven't seen that movie in years." Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. It really wasn't. Eric says, "Geez, what wasn't considered a video nasty back then?" Right? That's what I'm saying, man. Yes. Ben says, "I think the Neverending Story was on the video nasty list."
Oh no.
Falcor.
Yeah.
Eric, the Never-Ending Nasty. And Ben, yes, he says that dude looks like he should sweep the leg. I know he looks just like Johnny from Karate Kid, doesn't he? Holy crap. All right, guys. This was a lot of fun, though. And Coriander, I enjoyed talking about this one with you. But, yeah, we had a good time talking about these kills. I think, what did we have? We had two that passed, one that was kinda, and 3 fails. So I guess that's not too bad. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. But guys, in the comment section, let us know what you thought about the movie, the high points, the low points, and so forth. That'll really help the video out. And also give us a like, and we will catch you guys next time. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out.
Up,